going on, everybody? Another great video. This is again from Stacey King, who was the teammate of Michael Jordan, three-time NBA champion. A lot of talk about LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. He seems to be objective because he literally states that he likes LeBron James, meaning he likes his game. He likes what he's, how he's playing and stuff like that. So he's an objective guy. He doesn't hate LeBron James. But the points that he makes in his comments are so telling. And him being an ex-professional NBA player, talking with other NBA players, only means that a lot of NBA veterans see the same exact things that we see. The points that he's making in his comments are incredible. It's what we speak about every single day. And we get called haters for it. When we're not, we're just realists talking facts. But, LeBron's fans don't like facts. They're living in their delusion and illusion. And just, they can't stand anything negative about the guy. Even though it might be true, they can't stand it. So let me play these comments by Stacey King for you, and I'll be right back kind of dissecting everything because there's a lot. And there's a lot of heavy things that he lays out there. So enjoy, take a listen.
Listen, I like LeBron James. Listen, LeBron James is going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play. But let's stop the GOAT debate, okay? You're doing what you're doing in 20 years, MJ did in 13. Okay, so let's just stop right there. You're not the GOAT, and you're not going to bypass Kobe, and you're not going to bypass Kareem and Wilt Chamberlain. The GOAT conversation's over. He's a great player. He'll be on Mount Rushmore of the NBA greatest players, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this trying to control the narrative and trying to, blame other people. Like they interviewed him at the end of the game, and he was saying, trying to be funny by saying, hey, look, they said, what do you think you need, for next year to make your, team better, get more size, whatever. Well, I don't really, I'm gonna be quiet on that, no comment, because the last person, when AD said something, they traded him. It's like, well, no, you traded him. Stop trying to blame her. You traded him. And then you tell everybody you had no idea that he was gonna be traded. Come on, man.
Hey, I just saw on X that LeBron, they've now announced that he had suffered a grade 2 MCL sprain.
Come on, man.
And he would have been out 5 to 7 weeks.
Come on, man. Listen, you go
That's
back.
Covered. They're providing cover.
You go back to every time he got knocked out in the first round. He's got to have ankle surgery.
Well, that collision with DiVincenzo.
Come on, man.
I mean, he weighs 60 pounds more than DiVincenzo, and he crumpled to the ground.
Come on, man. Come on. Listen. Like I said, man. I like LeBron James as a player. I like what he does off the court, but the antics that he does, man,
people are tired of it.
And then the way he's kind of manipulated, the league. Like he's a guy that says, I don't want to play with these people. I want to play with these people. So do what you got to do to get me these people. Okay. I want a dream team. I want my son to play, because like I said, you could have used that second round pick or maybe even traded someone to get someone that could have helped you this year. I'm not saying Bronny's not an NBA player, but he's not an NBA player right now. And you could have signed him as a free agent. But, LeBron's ego would have been bruised if his kid goes undrafted and then the Lakers sign him as a free agent. So
wait till Bryce is in the draft next year.
Oh my God. I'm gonna tell you something right now. If Kobe Bryant, I said this last week or a couple weeks ago, if Kobe Bryant was still alive right now, the Lakers would have tried to work out a deal to trade LeBron. Because Kobe would have been like, get this guy out of here, man. Get him out of here.
So as you heard Stacey King, there's a lot of heavy things being thrown out there. And a lot of the things, like I said, that we speak about every single day. Bron is not the GOAT. LeBron is not the GOAT. It's said straight out. And he literally states what we state. Michael Jordan accomplished more. He says, what you're doing now is Jordan accomplished in 13 years. Michael Jordan actually did more in 13 years than LeBron in now 22. That's one of those statements. I mean, it's a factual statement. There's no way you can dispute that statement. And it comes out from a NBA veteran who's also an NBA champion, who's watched this game for years, who's played it in the NBA, was in the league, dealt with Michael, talks to other players in the league, He knows what the hell's going on. I mean, more and more players right now are coming out and saying this kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy. And then he goes out and he says again what we keep saying. That LeBron James and, Clutch Sports, he doesn't mention Clutch Sports, but all this cloud of people around LeBron James, and especially him, are trying to control the narrative desperately. They're placing blame on people. They're blaming, he's blaming coaches, he's blaming his teammates. He's gotten multiple coaches fired. I mean, nobody says this, but they always praise Michael Jordan for, he won the championships because he had a coach like Phil Jackson. Well, everybody's looking at Phil Jackson with his current resume. When Michael Jordan won his first NBA title in 1991, what the hell did Phil Jackson have? As a player, he had something, but as a coach, he was a second-year NBA coach. He was never an NBA coach before. That was the first NBA title as a coach for Phil Jackson in 91 as well. Like it's crazy. Then you got Stacey also mentioning Anthony Davis. And LeBron James, again, trying to control the narratives and throwing it out there that, Anthony Davis talked too much and he said something too much, and the next day he was traded. And like we all have been saying, LeBron James knew he was going to be traded. He pushed for him to be traded. Everybody knows this. But the narrative being pushed is to take the blame off of LeBron. I mean, how else could that happen, right? Everything is to control the narrative and have LeBron looking good and squeaky clean. He ain't squeaky clean no more. People seeing through all this BS. Then they also bring up another thing we talk about nonstop, is that LeBron James, just look at his history. Stacey King also mentioned every time he gets out of the first round, he's got some kind of injury. There's something has to be blamed. If he can't blame the players, or he can't blame his coach, or whatever it might be, then an injury gets blamed. So like just recently, last playoffs, he got out in the first round. Then they say after the series that he had an MCL tear, which would have kept him about 7 weeks injured, and so he couldn't play. But within a week, there's a video of him surfacing, dancing around and stuff like that, and not having an issue with that. Like, come on, man. People have seen through this so many times right now. Right now it's more of a parody and a comedy. I mean, we get Gil's Arena coming out there, basically stating to us that they're starting to do business with Clutch. You got Nick Wright on video admitting, directly saying, I'm doing a little bit side business with Rich Paul and Clutch. I mean, is there anybody that's really giving you facts and telling the truth in sports media anymore? It's ridiculous. That's why people depend a lot on our podcasts, because there's no bullshit on our podcast. We just say it how it is. Nobody pays us. I mean, yeah, we get paid a little bit maybe off of YouTube. It's not crazy money or anything. We're doing it to spread the truth and call out the bullshit. That's pretty much why it's happening. But they can't stand it because they can't control it. And then we got the main comment, which I can agree with and stand behind 100%. If Kobe Bryant would see what LeBron James is doing with the Lakers, what he's made the Lakers do, what he made the Lakers look like, with drafting his son, with all that narrative control and manipulation and all that stuff. I mean, Kobe Bryant will be first in line right now in the Lakers office telling them, listen, get this guy out of here. He is an embarrassment to the franchise. He is an embarrassment to the franchise. That's exactly the words that Kobe would be using in the office. He wouldn't say that to the camera because he's a polite, nice dude, or he was. Rip Kobe. But that's exactly what he would say. He would not stand for this kind of stuff. Celebrating a an in-season tournament, putting a banner up for that shit. Come on. That is not Kobe Bryant. That is not the standard that he lived for in the Lakers. Kobe was just different. Different. He was more like Mike. That's why Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant never had, and Michael Jordan still doesn't have a relationship with LeBron James, because he doesn't want to put up in any of this bullshit. He's a straight up shooter too. He doesn't like all this control and narrative control and manipulation and, you know, blaming other people and kind of only trying to make himself look best. They don't like that. That's why it's, you know, that's why it is the way it is. And LeBron James could blame that on him still playing. That's why he doesn't have a relationship with MJ. That's bullshit. MJ wouldn't want to waste his time on you, bro. I love Stacey King. I love how he shares his information. He's just a straight shooter, tells it how it is, how he's thinking. And that's why I like him. And more videos coming from Stacey King, because he's been making some interesting comments lately. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Share, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.